heart went.
Okay, so this time we have a passive network, a network that does not contain any source. And obviously, this network is a combination circuit. It has parallel and series components connected together. So what our target for this particular example is to be able to solve for total resistance based on the terminals given to us. So as you can see, there are several nodes in this circuit. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's terminals A until G. And we're going to solve for the equivalent resistance at specific terminals that we have. So for the example that you have in your manual, the first question is to find the total resistance across points A and B. Across points A and B. So here, in this particular set of terminals. So ang technique po kapag nagsosolve tayo ng equivalent resistance or total resistance is, hanapin nyo yung terminals kung saan tayo kukuha ng resistance, saang terminal ikakabit yung ohmmeter natin. So, as for the first question, we are solving for RAB. Okay, resistance across terminals A and B, assuming that if every resistor is equivalent to 2 ohms. So, ibig sabihin, if we're solving for the resistance equivalent at terminals A and B, dito tayo magkakabit ng ohmmeter. Pag nagkabit ka ng ohmmeter dito, magiging closed circuit na siya. Remember our discussion? Ohmmeters have minimal amount of voltage that it uses for it to be able to introduce current to the circuit just so it can compute for resistance to the flow of current, which is R. Okay? So, pag nag-close ngayon yung circuit na to, ang idea ay lahat ng resistances or lahat ng passive components natin masimplify papunta doon sa ating terminals kung saan naghahanap tayo ng equivalent resistance. So, if I'm solving for equivalent resistance at terminal AB, hanapin mo yung branches na pinakamalayo sa terminals AB, doon tayo magsisimula. So, obviously, from this side, yung pinakamalayo kay AB ay itong side na to, yung rightmost branch natin. And from here, pwede na tayong mag-simplify ng branches hanggang sa mapaliit natin yung ating circuit papunta dun sa terminals AB. So, if for example, you are solving naman halimbawa for the resistance at terminals DF, ibig sabihin dito tayo magkakabit ng ohmmeter. So, ang pwedeng gana nung pagsisimplify mo ng circuit is towards DF. So, pwede ka mag-simplify one side sa left, tapos isimplify mo yung sa right, paloob, papasok, papunta kay DF. So, that's our idea in simplifying. Now, if I'm going to solve for, going back to the question, the resistance across terminals A and B, as I've said kanina, dito ako mag-start sa kanan, yung pinakamalayo sa terminals A and B ko. And, obviously, you have here 2 resistors that are series connected, di ba? Ito, mukha lang siyang square based on the drawing of the schematic. But this is connected series, di ba? Itong dalawang to are series. So, ibig sabihin, I can combine these two. These are both 2 ohms. And then at the same time, you will notice here, across this resistor, may nakaparallel sa kanya. 'Di ba? Itong linyang to, or itong resistor na to, or itong branch na to, nakaparallel siya sa side na to. Correct? They are connected on the same set of nodes. Silang dalawa. So, parallel yan. Okay. So, ito, pwede din natin i-simplify na to kasabay ng pag-simplify natin dito sa side na to. Ngayon, when we simplify, it's very important for us to redraw the circuit whenever we simplify para hindi tayo maguluhan kapag nagsosolve na tayo. So, mariretain pa rin si terminal A dyan. You have resistor, 2 ohms. And then you have node C here. Sa halip na dalawang resistor yon, magiging isa na lang kasi we're going to simplify that using parallel connection. And then, you still have a resistor here from C papuntang D. And then D to F, you still have this resistor here. So this is D, this is F, this is E. E to F, you still have this resistor. Hindi pa natin nasisimplify yan. And then this one, in the diagonal, or connecting E and D. Then you still have terminal B with a resistor. Okay? And then from E papuntang G, itong line na to, or itong branch na to, iisa na lang yung resistor na yon, diba? So, pwedeng, i-redraw ko lang to. Yung F to G, saka yung E to G, meron pa ring resistor doon. Diba? This one. And then for this one, pwede ko na tong i-simplify as one resistor na lang ulit. So, if you want, pwede ko siyang i-drawing ng naka-square ulit. Okay? Or kung ayaw nyo yan, pwede naman, diba, sabi natin dati, parang pinaarte lang naman natin or finormalize lang naman natin yung pagre-represent ng schematic. Pero, since ito namang dalawang resistor na to nakakabit in between E and G, pwede mo nang idiretso na ganito na lang siya. Yan. So, itong resistor na to, this is equivalent to 2 plus 2. Since series yun, diba? 2 plus 2. That would be 4 ohms. While this one, this is 2 ohms in parallel with another 2 ohms. So, parang hindi mahirapan. You can use your calculator for parallel connections, tapos gamitin nyo na lang yung inverse-inverse function natin doon. So, ano ngayon nandito? You have 2 resistors that are parallel, and both resistors are rated 2 ohms. So, that would be 2 inverse plus isa pang resistor na 2 ohms inverse. Yung answer natin inverse. Obviously, that would be 1 ohm. So, ibig sabihin, itong resistor natin between C and E, sa halip na magkakabit ka ng dalawang resistor na 2 ohms na nakaparallel, gawin mo na lang na 1 ohm resistor na lang yun. So, solution natin dito is 2 inverse plus 2 inverse. Inverse. This is 1 ohm. While the remaining resistors are still 2 ohms as per the given. Okay? So, saan tayo pwede magsimula ulit? Doon ulit sa dulo. Papunta tayo dito, diba? So, dito ulit tayo magsisimula. Okay? So, I noticed here na these two are parallel. Diba? So, itong parallel combination na to, pag-iisahin ko na ulit. Tapos, ito, diba, nag-start tayo dito kanina kasi napansin natin may parallel dito na nakalabas. Kaya, sinimplify na natin siya agad. Pero, pag tingin mo ngayon sa kanya dito, this 1 ohm resistor is not parallel dito. It's not parallel here. It's not even series. So, we cannot yet, as for now, identify the connection of 1 ohm to the other branches or resistances. So, ibig sabihin, hindi pa natin siya pwedeng galawin. Magagalaw lang natin yung mga components natin for now if they are either connected series or parallel. Okay, so, in this case, ito pa lang yung pwede nating isimplify. You have a 4 ohm resistor here, yung ating sinimplify kanina, in parallel to an existing 2 ohm resistance. So, for this, pwede ko ulit i-redraw ito. Ganun ulit. Yun nga lang ang problema dito, diba? Makakarami kayo ng redrawing ng circuit. So, tiyagaan lang po. Okay, yung mga hindi natin inibo na resistor, edi ganun pa din. Kokopyahin lang natin. Make sure that you do not forget the quantities ng ating mga resistor, lalo na kung magkakaiba yan. Kasi nagkataon yung example natin, iisa yung quantity na ibinigay, or iisa yung rating na ibinigay para dun sa mga resistor natin, diba? So, para hindi tayo ma-mislead, ibalik nyo ang terminals, A, B, C, and D. And then we have E, and F. We have terminal G here. And between C and E, you have 1 ohm resistor doon. Tapos, the remaining ones are 2 ohms na. Tapos, for this one, diba, isi-simplify na natin to as 1 resistor. So, ibig sabihin, pwedeng isang resistor na lang to. Yung isang resistor na yon may be solved by taking the parallel combination of 4 ohms and 2 ohms. So, ibig sabihin sa inverse, that would be 4 inverse plus 2 inverse quantity inverse. So, ano yung ating equivalent value for that? Kuha tayo ng calcu. That would be 2 inverse plus 4 inverse, quantity inverse. So, that would be 4 over 3. Ibig sabihin, this is 4/3 ohms. So, ito, 4 over 3 ohms siya. Okay? Tapos, afterwards, ano sunod natin mapapansin? From here, from our 4/3 ohms, wala pa rin nagbago sa side na to. So, ibig sabihin, hindi pa rin natin yan pwedeng pakialaman. But you would notice, yung ating ipinarallel kanina, na naging isang resistor na lang, naging series na siya dito sa resistor between F and G. Series na, diba? Okay, pero, halimbawa, nakakabit pa to sa ibang parte ng circuit, di mo pa pwedeng i-consider na series yan, diba? Kaya lang naman to naging series kasi nga, iisang branch na yung humahawak, or parang continuous na yung linya between the two resistors. So, pag continuous na yung linya, wala nang joint, wala nang junction, wala nang node sa pagitan ng dalawang resistors, ibig sabihin, it's considered series. So, this 4/3 ohms is in series to an existing 2 ohms. So, pwede nating i-simplify ito using series combination. Diba? So, i-redraw ulit natin yung circuit natin. Let's redraw the circuit. We have, okay, terminal A, terminal B, and then we have, this resistor between C and D. Hindi nagbago. Wala pang nagbabago sa side na to. 1 ohm. Okay. Node E. Node F. I'm sorry. Meron tayo ditong resistor between E and F. And then, yung series combination ni 4/3 tsaka ni 2 ohms, saan siya makakabit? Itong linyang to ay nakakabit kay E and F. So, dun yung ilalagay. O, pwedeng ganito. Para hindi masyadong sikip. Yan. So, ito nga yung resistor na to ay masosolve natin by the series combination of 4/3. And, ito ay 2 ohms, diba? 2 ohms. So, ang sagot natin dyan would be 10/3. 10/3 ohms itong resistor na to. Okay. Actually, pwede kayong mag-set dito ng mga variables. Halimbawa, RA equals RB, RC, or R1, R2, R3. Pero kung ayaw nyo naman masyadong umarte pa yung solution, okay lang naman kahit wag na. Basta alam nyo kung saan nakalagay yung mga quantities na yun. Okay, next. What happens next? So, itong 10/3 ohms natin, ito siya. Nakaparallel siya dun sa resistor na nakakabit kay E and F. Parallel silang dalawa. So, parallel combination ngayon tayo dito. Okay, ano magiging itsura? Ito, kokopyahin lang ulit natin. Uulitin lang ulit. So, we have terminals A and B pa din. Tapos, terminal C and D. May resistor sa pagitan nilang dalawa. Between C and E, you have there 1 ohm. Between D and F, between D and E, and then, yung nasa pagitan ni E and F, itong resistor na to, nakaparallel siya kay 10/3. So, pag nag-parallel combination tayo dito, magiging isang resistor na lang yun. Diba? So, itong isang resistor na to, galing yan sa parallel combination ng dalawa. So, ibig sabihin, mag-i-inverse ulit tayo dyan. So, 4/3 inverse plus, So, mag-i-inverse ulit natin to. This one is a 2 ohm resistor. So, you have 2 inverse plus, this one is your 10/3 ohm. So, 10/3 inverse. Yung sagot natin, i-inverse pa natin. Let's get our calculator for that. Ano mangyayari? You have 2 inverse plus 10/3 inverse. I-reciprocal lang naman yan. I-reciprocal. So, pwedeng, kaya na mag-type ng 3/10. Reciprocal nyo na. Quantity inverse. 5/4. So, itong parallel combination pala na to, that's equivalent to 5/4. So, yun yung ipapalit ngayon natin dito. It's 5/4. This is 5/4 ohms. Okay? After this, ano nang meron? So, yung 5/4 ohm resistor mo now becomes series kay resistor between D and F. So, ito siya kanina, parallel siya dito, pinag-isa natin. Nung nag-isa na to, sumiris ngayon siya, itong resistor na to, nakasiris ngayon siya kay DF resistor, di ba? Dito. So, magsisiris combination ulit tayo dito. For that, Sige. Let's try to make some space dito sa side. Parahin ko na yung question. Okay. So, I'll redraw ulit this side. Meron tayong terminal A, terminal B, resistor, terminal C, terminal D, in between C and D. Tapos, we still have the 1 ohm resistor between C and E. Tapos, between E and D, meron pa rin tayong diagonal resistor dito. Okay. Tapos, sabi natin, itong resistor na 5/4 ohms, nakaseries siya dito. So, pwede ko nang pag-isahin to. Ito nga yung resistor na to, magiging isang resistor na lang siya. Saan siya nakakabit? Itong linyang to nakakabit kay ED. Diba? Dito siya nakakonect sa joint na yun. Or sa junction na yun. So, magkakaroon ng additional line dito. Yan. Etong resistor na to, ito po ay yung series combination ng dalawa. So, ito ay 5/4. So, series yan. So, addition lang. Summation lang. 5/4 ohms, ito, plus, ito ay 2 ohms, di ba? 2 ohms. So, ibig sabihin, ay magiging 13/4 ohms, di ba? 4 times 2, 8 plus 5. 13/4 ohms. Okay? After that, anong sunod? So, after this, mapapansin nyo na, yung ating sinimplify na series, ito yon, naging isang resistor na lang siya. Pumarallel ngayon siya dun sa, di ba, parallel? Itong dalawang linyang to nakakabit sa isang set ng nodes, D and E. So, parallel ngayon silang dalawa. So, itong parallel combination na to, ang isi-simplify natin. So, we're going to take this parallel combination. Nino, parallel combination yun ni 2 ohms, di ba? Itong diagonal na to ay 2 ohms yan. And ni 13/4, yung na-solve natin kanina. So, i-redraw ulit natin. Ito ay magiging terminal A, terminal B, resistor, terminal C, terminal D, may resistor in between. Tapos, we have 1 ohm here. Tapos, you have your terminal E and D. So, yung between E and D mo, since dalawang parallel resistor yan, magiging isa na lang. Pag kinuha natin parallel combination, para makuha mo parallel combination, that would be 2 ohms, ito yun, in parallel with 13/4. So, ang solution natin dyan, inverse kasi parallel, di ba? So, 2 inverse plus itong 13/4 inverse. Yung sagot natin, i-inverse pa. So, ito nga yung resistor na to, that would be equivalent to, calculator natin yan. So, you have 2 inverse plus, so yung 13/4 inverse, i-reciprocal lang po. That's 4/13. Yung sagot natin inverse ulit. So, we have 26/21. Ibig sabihin, ay 26/21 ohms. After that, ano nangyari? So, yung parallel kanina, naging isang resistor na lang. So, itong linyang to, naging continuous na siya, papunta dun sa line ni CE resistor, diba? Ito, nag-connect na silang dalawa. So, ibig sabihin, continuous na tong linyang to, which means series na yung dalawa. So, ito ngayon, isi-simplify natin. So, let's erase na lahat ng nasa right side. Okay. So, ang mangyayari ay, redraw ko ulit itong terminals A and B natin. So, terminal A, terminal B, resistor, terminal C, terminal D, may resistor in between C and D, and then, pag pinagsama mo tong 1 ohm na to, saka itong 26/21 na to, kasi series siya, di ba, i-add natin yon, mawawala na si node E, di ba? Wala nang node dito kasi series na siya eh. So, saan ba nakakabit itong linyang to? Nakakabit siya kay CD. Kaya ang mangyayari, magkakaroon tayo ng additional branch dito na nakaparallel. Doon pa rin nakakabit kay CD. So, itong additional branch na to, combination niya ni 1 ohm tsaka ni 26/21 since series sila. So, ang solution natin doon, 1 ohm plus 26/21 ohms. And that would be 21 times 1, 21 plus 26, you get 47 over 21 ohms. Ito yon. Okay, ito yon. So, itong 47 over 21 na to, itong 47 over 21 na to, nakaparallel ngayon siya dito sa resistor between C and D. Diba? Which is 2 ohms. So, yung parallel combination nilang dalawa, ito yon. Kukunin ulit natin. Principle of parallel. So, mayayari, you have A, B, may resistor dito, diba? May resistor dito. Tig 2 ohms parehas yan, according to the given. Tapos, in between, diba, node C and node D, may dalawang branch doon na nakaparallel. Pag-iisahin na natin. So, magiging isang resistor na lang to. Para makuha mo to, parallel combination yon ng alin? Ng 2 ohms, so 2 inverse, parallel ni 2 ohms at nito, ano ba ito? Ito ay 47 over 21 ohms. Inverse. Yung sagot natin, i-inverse pa. Okay. Typing that our calculator, you have 2 inverse plus, inverse natin yung 47 over 21. So, 21 over 47. Inverse natin yung sagot natin. That would be 94 over 89. So, nari pala ay 94 over 89 ohms. So, ano nang naging itsura? Ang naging itsura na ay, ito na lang siya. From A to B, diba? Iisa ng branch ito. Iisa ng linya to. Correct? So, tatlong resistor ngayon yan na nakaseries. Si 2 ohms, si 94 over 89, saka si 2 ohms. So, para makuha mo yung resistance dito, kunin mo yung equivalent resistance itong tatlo, since series yan, pag-addin lang natin, diba? Therefore, pag nagkabit ka ng ohmmeter dito, ang mariread niya, yung series equivalent ng tatlo. And that gives you your RAB. Anong solution natin for RAB? Series yung tatlo. So, 2 ohms plus 94 over 89 plus 2 ohms ulit. That will give you your total resistance across terminals A and B. And that would be 2 plus 94 over 89 plus 2. And that gives you 450 over 89. That will be our answer. Oh, ito na yung ating resistance across RAB. Pag nagkabit ka ng ohmmeter dito, yun yung ibibigay niyang sagot sa atin. 450 over 89. In decimal, what is that? That's 5.0562 ohms. Ano po? 5.0562 ohms. Okay, so remember whenever you are solving for equivalent resistance, napakahalaga ng patience. Okay, sa simula patience talaga. Tapos, of course, kailangan naintindihan na at malinaw na po sa atin kung anong itsura ba ng series. Diba? At ano na yung itsura ng parallel connections. Okay? So, laging tatandaan kapag halimbawa, kagaya nito, para masabi mo na series connected yung dalawang resistor, dapat walang node sa pagitan nilang dalawa. But when we talk about nodes, diba sabi natin nag-exist lang ang node kung merong 2 or 3 or more branches na nakakabit sa kanya. So, for example, ito, between terminal D and G, you have 2 resistors here, diba? You have 2 resistors here. But alam natin that these 2 resistors are not series connected. Why? Because there is a junction in between them. Lagi niyong tatandaan, kapag series connected ang elements, dapat walang interruption, walang junction, walang node sa pagitan ng dalawang resistors. Thus, there's continuous flow of same current in the line. Ibig sabihin, iisa yung linya. Ngayon, every time na nagkakaroon ng junction, di ba sabi natin sa current divider principle, every time na nagkakaroon ng junction, nahahati ang kuryente. So, pag nahati ang kuryente, ibig sabihin, mag-iiba yung value niya. Pag nag-iba yung value ng kuryente mo, ibig sabihin, hindi series connected. Yun. So, kung mapapansin nyo nga, in these 2 resistors, may junction sa gitna nila, di ba? So, yung junction na yun is an indication that these 2 are not series. Ngayon, ang sunod mo nang i-identify is, kung hindi kayong dalawa series, parallel ba kayo? Yun. Paano malalaman kung parallel? Tingnan mo yung dalawang dulo naman. So, dito may common point na siya ng connection, which is F. Tingnan mo naman yung magkabilang dulo. O, ito bang dalawang to connected to each other? O, trace mo nga. Wala. Hindi, diba? So, ibig sabihin, hindi sila parallel. Okay? For it to be parallel, both sides of your resistor should be connected on the same terminal. So, itong left side mo, nakakonect kay C. Itong right side mo, ng dalawang resistor, nakakonect kay E. Kaya nasabi natin na parallel yan. Okay? Another note or another important thing that you have to remember when you're solving for equivalent resistance po is, kung naghahanap tayo ng equivalent resistance at AB, di ba napansin nyo kanina nung nagsisimplify tayo, whenever we're redrawing and simplifying our circuit, nawawala yung mga nodes. Nawala si G, nawala si F, nawala si D, nawala si E, si C. Nauubos yung nodes natin. Pero anong natira? Natira si AB. Of course, C and D here are existing based on the label that we have. Pero when we talk about nodes, non-existent na si node C at si D dahil wala namang ibang nakakabit sa kanyang branch. So, parang anong nangyari? Nawala na ng kwenta si node C at node D dito kasi series naman na to, continuous na yung line. So, dalawa na lang yung important terminals natin dito, which is A and B, kung saan nakakabit yung ating ohmmeter. So, lagi niyong tatandaan kung alin man or saan mang terminal kayo naghahanap ng equivalent resistance, hindi dapat yun mawala kapag kayo ay nagre-redraw. Okay, mapapansin nyo naman yun, kapag tayo ay kagaya nito, kinuha natin yung series combination 1 ohm na to, tsaka itong 13/4 ohm resistor na to, pinag-add natin siya, nawala na si E, diba? Naging ganito na lang siya, isang branch na nakaparallel kay CD. So, every time na nagre-redraw tayo ng circuit, nawawala yung mga nodes, lalo na kung affected siya or dinaanan siya nung sinimplify nating resistances. So, lagi niyong tatandaan, kung saan ka naghahanap ng equivalent resistance, hindi dapat mawala yung terminals na yon. Minsan kasi, yun yung common errors ng iba. Pag nagsasolve sila ng equivalent resistance, in the process of redrawing, nakakalimutan isulat ulit yung terminals, hanggang sa nung ma-redraw mo na, nag-iba na yung itsura ng circuit mo, hindi mo na matrace kung nasan ba yung hinahanapan natin equivalent resistance. So, be careful not to forget the terminals kung saan tayo nagsasolve ng equivalent resistance. Okay? So, for this particular example, our answer is 450/89, and that's 5.0562 ohms.